The romance between Kate Middleton and Meghan Markle has been the subject of incessant media conjecture for a long time. Were they friendly when they weren't on the clock? Were they ever friends for real? Or was there a more sinister truth, one that the King and Queen had vehemently concealed? The general population had anticipated a tight friendship between the two ladies ever since Meghan Markle's marriage into the royal family. They were really similar to one another, after all. Both were style icons who shaped the contemporary monarchy. They were married to monarchs who would go on to rule, and they were both pushed into the heavy burden of royal life. Something did, however, become clear as time went on. There was never any sense of community or warmth. Kate Middleton has broken her silence at the age of 43, after years of remaining silent. A long-lost chat between royal court members has recently come to light. In it, she verifies what a lot of people had suspected: the Fabulous Four myth. A tempest of interest and anticipation engulfed Meghan Markle as she made her royal debut. She was welcomed by the media as a fresh breath of fresh air, bringing diversity, charisma, and advancement to an institution steeped in tradition. Just being there as an American multiracial self-made actor was revolutionary. Witnessing her with Prince Harry, his older brother Prince William, and sister-in-law, Kate Middleton piqued the public's interest in her potential role in reshaping the royal family. The foursome was immediately dubbed the Fab Four, a youthful, energetic quartet that was expected to usher in a new era for the monarchy. The initial impression was one of promise. In addition to performing together on large platforms, they also went to charity events and gave interviews in which they discussed their goals for the future. A new progressive era in the royal family was heralded by the world as a symbol of unity, friendship, and hope. But there were fissures starting to appear under all the glossy photos and sensational headlines. Close inspection revealed that the Fab Four's illusion was, in fact, an illusion. Underneath the carefully staged harmony, there were murmurs of unspoken animosities, hidden conflicts, and fundamental incompatibilities among the royal family. Meghan, with her bubbly demeanor and innate friendliness, was keen to engage and establish herself as an approachable royal. In contrast, Kate kept her distance calmly and measuredly. Though she was never nasty or impolite, she lacked genuine friendliness and sisterhood. Many people first assumed it was just a moment of adjustment. The first woman was a Hollywood actress who was comfortable in the spotlight and didn't mind saying what was on her mind. The second was a future queen who had spent years becoming an expert royal secretary. We anticipated that they would require some time to discover areas of agreement, but the divide has simply grown wider. Anxieties were rising in the background. Observers at royal engagements started to pick up on tiny cues. Kate's courteous but detached demeanor around Meghan, her apparent reserve while Meghan was talking, and the palpable stiffness that persisted whenever the two were in the same room. Meghan would frequently seem to be taking the lead in conversations with her expressiveness and energy, while Kate would maintain her composure and seem to be gauging each response with precision. As the world waited for the Fab Four to weather the storms of royal life, faith in their united front remained strong. However, a more fundamental factor was actually at work, anything that would, in due time, completely break the illusion. The bridesmaids' attire debate. The royal wedding, a spectacular extravaganza where Hollywood glitz met centuries-old tradition, enthralled the world. The wedding of Meghan Markle and Prince Harry in 2018 was supposed to be a magical, limitless love story. However, tensions were building behind the palace's golden gates. The public's view of Meghan and Kate's relationship would be permanently shaped by an incident that occurred in the days preceding up to the ceremony. The bridesmaid outfits, and Princess Charlotte's dress in particular, were the source of much controversy. Rumors circulated in the years after the wedding that the dress fittings had been a somber experience for Kate, with some accounts claiming that the future queen consort appeared physically distressed by the argument. Rumor has it that two women negotiating the strict realm of monarchy from very different viewpoints had a value conflict rather than a disagreement over fabric or fittings, according to palace insiders. These rumors claim that Meghan, who is more interested in being flexible and less bothered by royal formality, had been very critical with Kate, leaving her clearly rattled. Kate was used to following royal procedure and was famously calm and collected. She knew the value of regularity, especially when it came to royal occasions of such scale. In this incident, sources close to Kate said that she found herself overwhelmed and upset, not from Meghan's requests, but from the perceived sharpness of her remarks and the strain of the moment. The whole story was only unveiled, though, in Meghan's interview with Oprah Winfrey in 2021. When Meghan presented an alternate account of events, it startled everyone. Meghan insisted that Kate was the one who had brought out her tears, rather than the reverse. Meghan elaborated on the reason behind the argument by saying that Kate was very regimented about following royal etiquette, but Meghan, who had a more relaxed upbringing, had different expectations when it came to the bridesmaid outfits. The bride, who was already under a great deal of stress, was left in tears after the argument, which she described as emotionally taxing. After the Oprah interview, Kate refrained from making any public defenses, despite the conflicting stories. Kate decided to keep mum while Meghan's account made headlines, letting people believe in whatever story they wanted. The discussion with Meghan changed the subject, and her viewpoint ended up taking center stage. A few days later, Kate reached out a hand of friendship. It was said that she had given flowers to Meghan as a gesture of goodwill, a subtle attempt to heal their broken relationship. Unfortunately, by that point, it was too late. Already, the media's depiction of the royal conflict had assumed a life of its own, as the tale of who had made whom cry had taken flight. For the general audience, this one event became emblematic of the tension that had perpetually lain dormant beneath the Fab Four's facade. Disputes about bridesmaid attire had escalated into something more serious. Two women, representing diametrically opposed ideals of royal femininity, engaged in a fierce conflict. The schism between Meghan and Kate would then widen, paving the way for Harry and Meghan's connection with the royal family to fall apart. A few short weeks after her wedding, Meghan Markle made headlines once again for Trooping the Colour, a major event in the royal calendar. This wasn't your average ceremonial gathering. It was an audition, a first appearance on the most prestigious platform, where every gesture, look and exchange would be carefully observed. The majesty of British tradition was introduced to Meghan at this, her first significant royal engagement. Royal duty was heavy, as was the sight of a sea of red-uniformed soldiers and the rumble of the throng. As she stood on the balcony of Buckingham Palace, she felt a sense of belonging, joining her new family. However, something seemed off. The royal family's posture and expressions said more than any words could have said. With an air of anxious eagerness, Meghan stood by Harry's side, ready to soak up every moment. Just a few steps away, the Duchess of Cambridge, Kate Middleton, caught her attention. It presented a chance, maybe an opportunity to share a humorous moment and perhaps even halt the widening gap between them. Word on the street is that tensions were building behind closed doors and were finally starting to show. An indescribable chill permeated the air they were in. In an effort to break the ice, Meghan looked across at Kate and cracked a joke about the show that was happening right in front of their eyes. In an effort to break down the barriers of formal royal protocol and establish a more personal connection, it was intended to be light-hearted. But Kate didn't move an inch. Not even the most fleeting sign of recognition, not a smile, not a courteous laugh was there. She turned away instead, her expression one of controlled, almost scripted apathy. In the midst of the event's magnificence, the public seemed oblivious to the moment. It was obvious, nevertheless, to individuals who were sensitive to the royal family's hidden dynamics. The schism was no longer confined to palace walls. It was now visible to everyone. The meaning was crystal evident to Meghan. This ceremony was everything but average. Unspoken power dynamics were being played out right then and there. Under the watchful eyes of many, the stage was set for the hugging incident, one of the most scrutinized royal relationships of the modern era. On that famous balcony, Meghan Markle brought an American kind of hospitality to the royal family. From the minute she arrived, she was friendly, outgoing, and physically affectionate with everyone she met. Hugs were commonplace in the Hollywood and California scenes, where she had spent a significant portion of her career. There were global controversies pitting Team Meghan against Team Kate, but she remained unmoved. Like she did with the first bridesmaid dress scandal, she let the world believe what it wanted. Only those closest to her were aware of the reality. Her calm demeanor betrayed the subtle pain she was hiding.